Jai Hind. Dear students of class 12th Geography Optional, welcome you all in Geography class. I am revising the lesson population, growth, density and etc. about the India. Today I will discuss regional variation in population growth. As you know, we know that the growth rate in India of population is very high, but it is not equally high each and every part of the country. The states like Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Puducherry, Goa show a low rate of growth not exceeding 20% over the decade. Kerala registered the lowest growth rate, 9.4 only. Not only in this group of state but also in the country as a whole. Kerala, we know that it is a literate state, 100% literacy they have achieved, and because of that you can see they have adopted family planning measures. Besides all the religious beliefs, what people are arguing that because of this in this religion growth rate is high, in this religion growth rate is low. Kerala has shown literacy means low growth rate of population. Continuous belt of states from west to east and northwest, north central part of the country has a relatively high growth rate than the southern states. In this belt comprising Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, UP, Uttarakhand, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Assam, etc. During 2001 and 11, the growth rate of almost all states and the union territories have registered a lower figure compared to the previous decade, namely 1991 to 2001. No doubt, after 1981, population growth rate is declining, and the cause behind declining is that people are becoming aware regarding the small family norms. They are adopting family planning measures, and because of that, the growth rate of population is slowing down. But there is need to slow it down more. The percentage decadal growth rate in six most populous states of India, namely the Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh, have fallen during 2001 and 2011 compared to 1991 to 2001. The fall being the lowest for Andhra Pradesh, 3.5% points, and the highest for Maharashtra, 6.7% points. Tamil Nadu 3.9% point and Puducherry 7.1% point have registered some increasing during 2001 and 11 over the previous decade. An important aspect of population growth in India is the growth of its adolescents. It is the important part. You people are the adolescents. The age group between 10 to 19, the age group of population between the age 10 to 19 considered as the adolescent. At present, the share of adolescents, हिंदी में बोलते हैं किशोरा अवस्था या किशोर जनसंख्या, that is up to the age group of 10 to 19 years is about 20.9, you can say approximately 21% in 2011, among which male adolescent constitute 52.7% and female adolescent constitute 47.3%. So as far as concerning this group of population need to take care very especially because they are the future citizens. But here one thing is alarming that in this group 10 to 19 year, more male are there than the females. It is not good. The adolescent population, though regarded as the youthful population having high potentials, but at the same time they are quite vulnerable if not guided and channelized properly. Do you know, this is the age of stress and strain. This is the age of imagination. बहुत कल्पना करते हैं, ऐसे रात को सोए रहेंगे, कल्पना करते रहेंगे, इस तरह पाकिस्तान के ऊपर जाके बॉम्ब गिरा दिया, उड़ के आ गए, स्पाइडरमैन बन गए, बहुत बड़ा एक पावरफुल लीडर बन गए. लाइक दैट लॉट ऑफ इमेजिनेशंस आर कमिंग इन माइंड, बट एवरीथिंग इज नॉट कमिंग टू. बहुत सारी कल्पनाएं हम भरते हैं, हर एक पूरी हो जाए जरूरी तो नहीं. दैट इज वाई एंड दिस इज द एज व्हेन the senior citizens are treating them as child, and the small children they are treating them as a adult. एक ऐसा समय होता है कि जब छोटे बच्चों के पास जाते हैं एडोलेसेंट्स, तो उनको बोलते हैं क्या भैया दीदी आप लोग हम लोग के बीच में खेलने आ गए। और दूसरा, जब वो जाते हैं बड़े लोगों के पास तो लोग कहते हैं तुम लोग बच्चे हो, बच्चों के साथ जाओ। So from all sides they are having a lot of pressure. They are having a pressure of making their career. They are having a pressure for shaping their career as well as personality. So wholesome personality develop in this period especially. So there is a need to guide them properly to build themselves as the great citizen of the country. There are many challenges for the societies as far as these adolescents are concerned, some of which are lower age of at marriage, illiteracy, particularly female illiteracy is very high, school dropouts, स्कूल छोड़ना बच्चों में ये पाया जाता है, खास करके लो इनटेक ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स, खाने पीने में जो खाना वो लोग ले रहे हैं उसमें पोषण तत्व कम है, हाई रेट ऑफ maternal mortality of adolescent mothers. The girls who are married in lower age, their death rate is high. लिखा है ना, हाई रेट ऑफ मैटरनल मोर्टेलिटी ऑफ एडोलेसेंट मदर, जो कि लड़की अभी खुद ही लड़की है, 16 से या 17 साल उसकी उम्र है, खुद ही एडोलेसेंट एक बच्ची है, वो किसी बच्चे की माँ बनती है तो उसकी डेथ होने की संभावना ज्यादा होती है. हाई रेट ऑफ HIV और AIDS infections because this is the age when opposite sex attraction is very common. Because of that, sometimes due to unconscious measures or without consciousness regarding the HIV etc., some adolescent population come under the grip of HIV or AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, physical and mental disability or retardedness. Drug abuse is very common in India especially. You can see the small children, they are using cigarette, tobacco to eat. Alcoholism is common. Likewise, juvenile delinquency and committance of the crimes. Juvenile delinquency in Hindi called as बाल अपराध. बाल अपराध, छोटे बच्चे जब अपराध करते हैं तो उसको बोलते हैं बाल अपराधी. Juvenile delinquents. Delinquency means what is the proper line if they are deviating and doing something wrong against the society, that is the delinquency. So these small kids doing such type of wrong activity called as juvenile delinquency and committance of the crimes, चेन छीन लेना, चोरी करना, अपने अगर अल्कोहलिज्म के आदत में आ गए, ड्रग्स लेने लगे, उसके लिए बहुत सारे क्राइम करना etc. In view of these, the government of India has undertaken certain policies to impart proper education to adolescent groups so that the talents are not better channelized and properly utilized. The National Youth Policy is one example which has been designed to look into the overall development of our large youth and adolescent population. It is a very good thing also because in future India will be the supplier of human labor, skill especially to the world, because world population is becoming aged day by day, but Indian population is becoming young day by day. It is another matter. We are having a highest number of young population. The National Youth Policy 2003, which has launched in 2003, stresses on an all-round improvement of the youth and adolescents, enabling them to shoulder responsibility towards constructive development of the country. यूथ पॉलिसी का टारगेट क्या है? एडोलेसेंट पॉपुलेशन को इस तरह से रेडी करें कि वो कंट्री का विकास करने में, उसके ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट में, उसके कंस्ट्रक्शन में हेल्प करें. इट ऑल्सो एम्स एट reinforcing the qualities of patriotism इन यंग लड़कों में, लड़कियों में, एडोलेसेंट्स में, खास करके पैट्रियोटिज्म, देशभक्ति की भावना और रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीजनशिप भी भरना यूथ पॉलिसी की एक जिम्मेदारी है. The thrust of this policy is youth empowerment. Empowerment means to make any community more capable. So you need to make These young population more capable in terms of their effective participation in decision making and carrying the responsibility of an able leader. Because from this age group only, the IS, doctor, PCS, leader, all they will come. A special emphasis was given in empowering women and girl child to bring parity in the male and female status. Moreover, deliberate efforts were made to look into youth health, sport and recreation. देखो अभी खेलो इंडिया नामक एक प्रोग्राम शुरू किया गया है गवर्नमेंट द्वारा. इसमें बहुत सारे नए नए खिलाड़ी उभर के सामने आ रहे हैं. It is not necessary that through the proper school education, after that you are getting any job. There are various fields: sports, adventure, games, dance, music, classical music, films, industry, etc. Anywhere you can get employment. So far, we have to prepare this young child or young children in just such a way that they can participate in developmental work. So far, creativity and awareness about new innovations in the sphere of science and technology is also very important. It appears from the above discussion that the growth rate of population is widely variant over space and time in the country and also highlights various social problems related to the growth of population. However, in order to have a better insight into growth pattern of population, it is also necessary to look into the social composition of population. Now the next topic is the population composition. What is population composition? Simply, population composition is a distinct field of study within population geography with a vast coverage of analysis of age and sex. पॉपुलेशन कंपोजिशन में हम पढ़ते हैं एज सेक्स स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में और उसमें जो बनाया जाता है डायग्रामेटिक प्रेजेंटेशन करते हैं उसको बोलते हैं एज सेक्स पिरामिड. प्लेस ऑफ रेजिडेंस, एथनिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ पीपल, ट्राइब्स, देयर लैंग्वेजेज, रिलीजन, marital status, literacy and education, as well as occupational characteristics, etc. All these in section, the composition of Indian population with respect to their rural and urban characteristics, language, religion and pattern of occupation will be discussed only here. So we are going to discuss first rural-urban composition. We know that India is a country of villages. More than 6 lakh villages are there in our country. Composition of population by their respective places of residence is an important indicator of social and economic characteristics. This becomes even more significant for a country where near about 70% of its population live in villages as per data of 2011. लगभग 70% आबादी, 135 करोड़ का 70% निकाल लो, देख लो, करीब 80 करोड़ 82 करोड़ आबादी केवल गांव में रहती है और इतना बड़ा हम लोगों का पॉपुलेशन का साइज है कि शहर में भी रहने वाले लोग अगर अमेरिका की टोटल आबादी को देखो उससे ज्यादा है. तो रूरल और अर्बन कंपोजिशन इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है समझना. डू यू नो दैट इंडिया हैज more than 6 lakh villages according to the census 2011, out of which 5,97,608 are inhabited villages. Inhabited means वहाँ लोग permanently रहते हैं. However, the distribution of rural population is not uniform throughout the country. You might have noted that the states like Bihar and Sikkim have very high percentage of rural population. Bihar and Sikkim, rural population बहुत ज़्यादा है. The states of Goa and Maharashtra have only little over half of their population residing in villages. लेकिन गोवा और महाराष्ट्र में आधी से लगभग थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा आबादी रहती है गांव में, बाद बाकी शहरों में है. The union territories on the other hand have smaller proportion of rural population except Dadra and Nagar Haveli, now merged with Daman and Diu. The size of villages also varies considerably. It is less than 200 persons in hill states of northeast India, western Rajasthan and run of Kutch, as high 17,000 persons in the states of Kerala and parts of Maharashtra. अगर पहाड़ी राज्य उत्तर पूर्वी राज्यों में देखो, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में, तो वहाँ आबादी एक गांव में 200 या उससे कम है, डेजर्ट में और कम है। लेकिन अगर देखें केरला और महाराष्ट्र में तो 17,000 एवरेज गांव की आबादी है, बहुत बड़े बड़े गांव हैं। A thorough examination of the pattern of distribution of rural population of India revealed that both at intra-state and interstate level, the relative degree of urbanization and extent of rural-urban migration regulate the concentration of rural population. Migration भी important part है इसमें. You might have noted sometime that, in contrary to rural population, the proportion of urban population, that is 31.16% in India, is quite low, but it is showing a much faster rate of growth over the decades. Why? Nowadays, because of better healthcare facilities, better medical facilities, better schooling, better job opportunities, better living standard, better food habits, people are now migrating from rural to urban areas. Day by day, urban centers are becoming large. Urban sprawls are becoming large. You can see any city is growing very fast, but the growth is unplanned. इंडिया में सिटी बहुत तेजी से तो बढ़ रही है, लेकिन सिटीज का जो प्लान वे में ग्रोथ होना चाहिए वो नहीं हो रहा है, अनप्लान्ड वे में ग्रोथ हो रहा है. The growth rate of urban population has accelerated due to enhanced economic development and improvement in health and hygienic conditions. The distribution of urban population too, as in case of total population, has a wide variation throughout the country. A considerable increase of urban population. This indicates both development of urban areas in terms of socio-economic condition and increased rate of rural-urban population. The rural-urban migration is conspicuous in the case of urban areas along the main road links and railroads in the North Indian plains, the industrial areas around the Kolkata, Mumbai, Bangalore, Mysuru, Madurai, Coimbatore, Ahmedabad, Surat, Delhi, Kanpur, etc. In agriculturally stagnant part of the middle and lower Ganga part of plain of Ganga, Telangana, non-irrigated western Rajasthan, remote hilly areas, tribal areas of northeast, along the flood-prone areas of peninsular India, along eastern part of Madhya Pradesh, the degree of urbanization has remained low. जहाँ पे बड़े बड़े उद्योग हैं, जहाँ बड़े बड़े एजुकेशनल हब्स हैं, वहाँ पे अर्बनाइजेशन तेजी से बढ़ा है, और जहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोग्रेस कम हुई है, एरिया का इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट कम हुआ है, जहाँ पे एजुकेशनल डेवलपमेंट कम हुआ है, वहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन जो डिग्री ऑफ अर्बनाइजेशन हो क्या है, कम है. नेक्स्ट इज द लिंग्विस्टिक कंपोजिशन. India is a land of linguistic diversity. No doubt India is a country of diversity, not only linguistic. Most of our states are linguistic, like the Tamil Nadu. On the basis of name of Tamil language, the state has named Tamil Nadu. Kerala, language is Malayalam. Karnataka, language is Kannada. Andhra Pradesh, Telugu. Like that. India is a land of linguistic diversity according to Garrison, Linguistic Survey of India 1903 to 1928. A British scholar, his name was Garrison. They find that 179 languages, as many 544 dialects in the country. In the context of modern India, there are about 22 scheduled languages and a number of non-scheduled languages. See how many languages appear on 10 rupees note. Among the scheduled languages, the speaker of Hindi have the highest percentage. हालांकि हिंदी इंडिया की राष्ट्रभाषा नहीं है, फिर भी हिंदी को हम लोग राजभाषा बोलते हैं, क्योंकि सबसे अधिक भाषा बोलने वाले अगर इंडिया में लोग हैं तो हिंदी भाषी हैं. The smallest language groups are Kashmiri and Sanskrit speakers. और सबसे कम बोलने वाले जो बोली जाने वाली है वो है कश्मीरी और संस्कृत. However, it is noticed that the linguistic regions in the country do not maintain a sharp and distinct boundary. ऐसा नहीं है कि तमिलनाडु छोड़ते ही अचानक केरल में मलयालम शुरू हो गया। कुछ एक ऐसा भी रीजन है जहाँ पे मिक्सचर मिलता है, जैसे उड़ीसा और झारखंड के बॉर्डर पे झारखंड और उड़ीसा दोनों ही जगह की भाषा मिल जाती है। Rather very gradually merge, overlap on their respective border zones. So linguistic classification is given. The speakers of major Indian languages belong to four language families which have their subfamilies. Before that discussing, I am going to just tell you about that classification of modern Indian languages. First, the family, then the subfamily, then branch or group, then speech areas. फैमिली है ऑस्ट्रिक, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं निषाद। निषाद निषाद राजपूत है ना, भगवान श्री रामचंद्र के मित्र, बहुत कम बोलने वाले लोग हैं, 1.38%। और इसमें जो सब फैमिली है ऑस्ट्रो एशियाटिक है, ऑस्ट्रोनेशियन है। और एक खास करके ब्रांच है मोन, खामेर, मुंडा। मुंडा लोग इस श्रेणी में आते हैं और बोला जाता है मेघालय में, निकोबार आइलैंड में, वेस्ट बंगाल में, बिहार में, उड़ीसा में, असम में एटसेट्रा। द्रविडियन ये 20% है, और ये साउथ द्रविडियन, सेंट्रल द्रविडियन, नॉर्थ द्रविडियन, तीन पार्ट में डिवाइडेड है। साउथ द्रविडियन में तमिलनाडु, कर्नाटका, केरला, सेंट्रल में आंध्र प्रदेश, मध्य प्रदेश, उड़ीसा, और नॉर्थ द्रविडियन में बिहार, उड़ीसा, वेस्ट बंगाल, मध्य प्रदेश आते हैं। सीनो टिबेटन, किराता, ओनली 0.85%। तिब्बतों में हमारी एंड सियामी चाइनीज, ये बोले जाने वाली जो एरिया है वो है जम्मू कश्मीर, हिमाचल, अरुणाचल, असम, नागालैंड, मणिपुर एटसेट्रा। एंड लास्ट इज द इंडो आर्यन, 73%। एंड द सब फैमिली इज ऑल्सो इंडो आर्यन। एंड ब्रांच और ग्रुप आर द इरानियन, डार्डिक, इंडो आर्यन। Iranian is spoken outside India, Dardik in Jammu and Kashmir, and Indo-Aryan in Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Himachal, UP, Rajasthan, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal, Assam, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, etc. So as far as concerning, you can see that the Indo-Aryan or the Indo-European Aryan language, it is dominant language in our country, India. Now the religious composition. Religion is one of the most important or dominant forces in India, because in India we are the country having almost all the religion found, more or less. Since religion virtually permits almost all the aspect of people's family and community lives, it is important to study the religious composition in detail. The spatial distribution of religious communities in the country shows that there are certain states and districts having larger numerical strength of one religion, while some may be negligibly represented in the other state. बोल सकते हो Hindus are distributed as major group in many states ranging from 70 to 90%, except in the district of state along the Indo-Pak border, Indo-Bangladesh border, Jammu and Kashmir, hill states of northeast, यहाँ पे हिंदू कम है। Muslims, the largest religious minority, are concentrated in Jammu and Kashmir, district of West Bengal and Kerala. केरला में तो मेजोरिटी में आते जा रहे हैं। Many district of उत्तर प्रदेश, especially in West उत्तर प्रदेश, in around Delhi and Lakshadweep. लक्षद्वीप में मुस्लिम डोमिनेटिंग पूरा का पूरा मुस्लिम डोमिनेटिंग एरिया हो। They form majority in Kashmir Valley also and Lakshadweep. Now, one thing I am going to discuss, standard census definition about the main worker and marginal worker। MCQ में आने के चांसेस ज्यादा होते हैं। Who are main worker? A person who works for at least 183 days or 6 months in a year is a main worker. But the marginal worker is a person who works for less than 183 days. अगर 183 दिन से कम काम कर रहे हैं मार्जिनल वर्कर हैं, 183 दिन से अधिक काम कर रहे हैं तब मेन वर्कर है। The Christian population is distributed mostly in the rural areas of the country. The main concentration is observed in western coast around the Goa, Kerala, also in hill states of Meghalaya, Mizoram, Assam, Chotanagpur, hills of Manipur, etc. Sikhs are mostly centralized or found there in relatively small area of country, particularly in Punjab, Haryana, Delhi. इसके अलावा और भी देश के लगभग हर एक भाग में सिख थोड़े बहुत मिलते हैं. Jain and Buddhist, the smallest religious group of India, have their concentration only in selected areas of the country. Jains have major concentration in urban areas of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, while Buddhists are concentrated mostly in Maharashtra. The other areas of Buddhist majority are the Sikkim, Arunachal, Ladakh, now a union territory. पहले अरुणाचल, पहले सिक्किम में था, सॉरी पहले जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में था, अब लद्दाख अपने आप में यूनियन टेरिटरी है, त्रिपुरा, लाहौल एंड स्पीति ऑफ हिमाचल प्रदेश एटसेट्रा. द अदर religions of India include Zoroastrian, tribal and other indigenous faiths and beliefs. इंडिया में पारसी कम्युनिटी भी है जो बहुत कम है, खास करके मुंबई अराउंड और गुजरात में मिलते हैं. The last topic we have to discuss the position of working population. The population of India according to their economic status is divided into three groups: main worker, marginal worker and non-worker. अभी main worker का definition हमने आपको दिया, having work more than 183 days in a year, marginal less than 183 days in a year and non-worker जो काम नहीं करते. It is observed that in India the proportion of workers both main and the marginal is only 39.8% as per data 2011, leaving a vast majority of about 60% of as non-workers. This indicates an economic status in which there is a larger proportion of dependent population. अगर लोगों के पास काम कम है तो जितने लोग बेकार हैं वो किसके ऊपर डिपेंड है? वर्किंग के ऊपर. तो इंडिया में डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो बहुत ज्यादा है, डिपेंडेंट पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज्यादा है. द पीपल हु आर नॉट वर्किंग दे आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन द वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन. एज ए चिल्ड्रन you all are dependent on your parents as well as your grandparents are also dependent or on your parents or dependent population. The proportion of working population of the state of Union Territory show a moderate variation from about 39.6% in Goa to about 49.9% in Daman and Diu, now merged with Dadra and Nagar Haveli. The state with largest percentage of workers are Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, etc. You must go through this text. It is very easy to understand. I am just summarizing. The occupational composition of India population, which actually means engagement in the individual of farming, manufacturing, trading, service and any kind of professional activity, shows a large proportion of primary sector workers compared to secondary and tertiary. इंडिया में मुख्यतः लोग प्राइमरी एक्टिविटीज में ज्यादा से ज्यादा डिपेंडेंट है, बट नाउ देयर इज अ ट्रेंड स्टार्टेड टू चेंज द ऑक्यूपेशन. नाउ पीपल आर शिफ्टिंग फ्रॉम प्राइमरी टू सेकेंडरी एंड टर्सरी एक्टिविटी. About 54.6% of working population are cultivators, किसान हैं, and agricultural laborers, whereas only 3.8% workers are engaged in household industries and 41.6% are other workers, including non-household industries, trade and commerce, etc., construction, repair and other services. As far as occupation the country's male and female population is concerned, male workers outnumber female workers. ये बात सही है, इंडिया में मेल वर्कर डोमिनेंट है, फीमेल वर्कर को काम कम मिलता है, वेजेस कम मिलता है, सैलरी कम मिलती है, लेकिन धीरे धीरे उनका भी पार्टिसिपेशन बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रहा है और एक समय आएगा कि हर जगह हम लोग देखेंगे इक्वालिटी. द नंबर ऑफ फीमेल वर्कर्स इज रिलेटिवली हाई इन प्राइमरी सेक्टर. खास करके किसानी में देखा जाता है कि जो फीमेल वर्कर है काम भी अच्छे से करती हैं और चीप रेट पे करती हैं, इसीलिए उनके एम्प्लॉयमेंट ज़्यादा मिलता है उसमें. इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू नोट दैट द प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ वर्कर्स इन एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर इन इंडिया हैज शोन अ डिक्लाइन ओवर द लास्ट फ्यू डिकेड्स. ये अच्छी बात है. The spatial variation of work participation rate in different sectors in the country. For this you have to see the appendix as given in your book. For instance, the state of Himachal Pradesh and Nagaland have very large share of cultivators. On the other hand, states like Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh have higher proportion of agricultural laborers. अगर हिमाचल प्रदेश और नागालैंड में कल्टीवेटर ज्यादा हैं तो बिहार वगैरह में देखो एग्जाम्पल में दिया है कल्टीवेटर या एग्रीकल्चरल लेबरर्स ज्यादा हैं. The highly urbanized areas of Delhi, Chandigarh, Puducherry have large proportion of workforce being engaged in other services. This indicates not only availability of limited farming land but also large scale urbanization and industrialization requiring more workers in non-farm sectors. So this is all for revision of this lesson. In next class, we will discuss some other lesson for revision purpose because few lessons are there to discuss. As this year board has deleted many lesson will not come, but we will discuss each and every lesson because any question from in form of MCQ or map question can be asked from any lesson. That is why. So I hope you have enjoyed the class today. Thank you. Have a nice day.